And good evening and welcome to Breaking Today on a day when CS Mutahi Kagwe and PS Mochache, they've been grilled for more than 4 hours. We'll be bringing you that story, part of our big stories of the night. We're streaming live on Facebook, Twitter, even on YouTube as Switch TV Kenya. My name is Frederick Mwitiriri and my sign language interpreter tonight is Michael Maidia. Welcome to Breaking Today. These are the highlights. Deputy President William Ruto warns public servants that they will be held to account for any misappropriation of public funds. We were not involved. CS Mutahi Kagwe and PS Susan Mochache have denied involvement of the alleged lost COVID-19 billions. And Migori Governor Okoth Obado continues to find himself in murky waters as calls to resign start trickling in. And welcome to the bulletin. Health Cabinet Secretary Mutahi Kagwe and his PS Susan Mochache have denied involvement in alleged theft of COVID-19 funds. Speaking at Parliament building where he has been grilled for more than 4 hours, Kagwe has refuted claims that he ordered KEMSA to supply the kits to specific companies by making several visits to the agency, as claimed by KEMSA CEO Jonah Manjari before the Senate committee last week. Clifford Omwega with a story.
CS Macharia must be here. We are not going to condone issues of, and avoiding this important parliamentary committee that is equivalent under Article 125 of the Constitution of Kenya, puts this house as equivalent to a high court.
The COVID-19 tender haste involving clearance and supply of kits continued today, where Health CS Mutahi Kagwe and his assistant Susan Mochache appeared before the Parliamentary Health Committee, ready to defend themselves from the alleged allegations that the ministry had a hand in the alleged looting spree witnessed at the ministry. Mutahi Kagwe fiercely defended himself of any wrongdoing.
But we were in a crisis, and I can repeat and I can give you examples of meetings that I had with the chair, with the CEO of that institution. I called in the people from KEMRI and the bosses here. I called in even lab technologists and technicians to discuss in a crisis where we knew nothing about.
Kagwe refuted claims that he ordered KEMSA to supply the kits to specific companies by making several visits to the agency, as claimed by KEMSA CEO Jonah Manjari before the Senate committee last week, saying that he never stepped to KEMSA offices since the pandemic was declared in the country.
It is, however, not my job to tell anybody to commit any crime. It is not my job to advise anybody against anything that they are not supposed to do. And in the event that I told a CEO to do something that is against the law or something they were uncomfortable with, the normal thing to do in government is to say, give me what you are telling me in writing.
But I want to say,
on the other hand, owing to the assertion that Principal Secretary Susan Mochache had ordered the agency to award tenders to companies of her choice, Mochache says that she only provided guidance to the agency, denying claims by the suspended KEMSA CEO Jonah Manjari. For now, all eyes are on the committee on what they will unearth from the unending saga that is dragging the ministry's top officials to the murky waters. Clifford Ndubi, Switch TV.
All right, what do you think of the happenings at the Parliament today? The Health Committee in Parliament today was grilling Susan Mochache, the PS, Minister of Health, and of course the Ministry of Health, that is the CS Mutahi Kagwe. What do you make of it? Talk to us on 2299. Moving on, Deputy President William Ruto has warned public servants that they will be held to account for any misappropriation of public funds. Speaking in Mwatate, Taita Taveta County, Ruto has said matters of accountability were not issues that can be negotiated or explained about using other ways other than the law. Speaking during the same meeting, former Taita Taveta Governor John Murutu and former Machakos Senator Johnson Muthama have called on the Senate to resolve the current impasse on revenue allocation.
The Deputy President William Ruto and Kikuyu Member of Parliament Kimani Ichung'wah have called upon leaders to take responsibility after monies meant to tackle COVID-19 pandemic are said to have been misappropriated. Speaking in Taita Taveta, Ruto has said matters of accountability were not issues that can be negotiated.
Na tumekuja kumuinua bwana. Kwa hivyo siku ya leo siga mambo ya uwajibikaji kwa pesa zote za umma ya Kenya. Sio tafadhali, ni lazima. Uwajibikaji sio tafadhali na sio urafiki na sio ujirani na sio undugu. Mambo ya uwajibikaji ni lazima kwa kila Mkenya.
Tukaambiwa to keep social distance, tuoshe mkono na tukae nyumbani. Tukaosha mkono, tukaacha kutembeleana na tukakaa nyumbani. Kumbe tuliwaacha kwa maofisi wakapora pesa zote za corona. Na sasa ndio hao wanatutapikia sababu wameshiba, sisi tuko na njaa.
Ruto said the millions of Kenyans have lost their jobs due to the COVID-19, a situation that would have been arrested if the funds would have been used in the right manner.
Wakati tunaweka mjadala taifa letu la Kenya, tuwe na utu, tuwakumbuke wale biashara zao zimeharibika, wale wamepoteza makazi, wale hawana chakula na wale hawana hali. Tusiwe katika mjadala ambao tunajizungumzia pale na wananchi wanagandamizwa na matatizo mahali pengine.
They are the leaders who spoke during the meeting with the religious leaders, including former Machakos Senator Johnson Muthama, are calling for equity in revenue allocation.
Na sielewi kwamba ile wale ambao wanaketi kuzungumzia formula kama ile ambaye inabagua Kenya kwamba wanasukumwa na nini, wanaongozwa na nini. Kwamba wajua sasa Kenya tumekuwa watu wa ajabu. Kenya nzima inajadili kitu ambacho hatujakiona. Sasa wengine tunaambiwa kwamba tunapinga. Sasa jamani, nitakubali vipi ama nitapinga vipi kitu ambacho hatujakiona?
Lakini hakuna kutoa nguo ya mtoto wako upatie mwingine ndio nyumba iwe na amani. Na wache huyu mwingine akilia. Hiyo hatukubali, hatutakubali, na tunataka kusema kwamba kila mtu na haki yake katika taifa letu la Kenya.
According to Ichungwa, the Kenya Constitution should serve the rights of all Kenyans.
Katiba sio chombo cha viongozi kutawala watu. Katiba ni mkataba baina ya watu wa nchi venye wanataka kuishi pamoja. Kwa hivyo watu wasituambie wao sababu ni viongozi ndio wanajua. Wao ndio watakuja kutumia katiba kama chombo kututawala na kuendelea kututawala, kujitafutia makuu, wasipojali maswala ya watu ambao ni wananchi wenye nchi.
This come while the Cabinet Minister for Health, Mutahi Kagwe, being grilled by the Parliament in line with the said lost billions. Emmanuel Terer, Switch TV.
Has castigated Senate Majority Chief Whip Irungu Kang'ata and Senate Majority Leader Samuel Pogisho for lacking interest in matters that concern Kenyans. The senators who toured Kenya Ferry Services in Likoni, Mombasa County have said that it was wrong for Senate leadership to hold on to their stand over the revenue sharing formula. Daniel Kariuki with the details.
It's business as usual for these citizens crossing this ferry, but for these members of Senate, it's business halted.
Wakati huu hakuna Mkenya yeyote yako hapa kwa mwaliko wa mtu mwingine. Sisi wote tuko na haki ya kuwa Kenya.
The revenue allocation formula, which the senators failed to come to a conclusion for 9 times, has birthed new political alignments. And according to Linturi, the Senate is heading in the wrong direction, following continuous threats from the Senate leadership of a different stance on how revenue should be shared.
You will not compare pesa ile inalipa na Kilifi, pesa ile inalipa na Mombasa, kama ushuru na ile pesa ya mandisi na viazi inatoka Nyandarua na Murang'a.
The senators were speaking in Mombasa County to find out various government institutions have utilized the COVID-19 funds from the national government. The committee, however, expressed its satisfaction with the safety protocols measures put in place by the Kenya Ferry Services to help curb the spread of COVID-19.
Kaini chini tuje na formula moja ambayo itaweka nini usawa. Hakuna yule ambaye ataongezewa, hakuna yule ambaye atakosa. Ili kila mwananchi awe nini? Awe sawa.
Kwa hivyo tumwambia Kang'ata, tumwambia Pogisho kwamba wao ni viongozi wa Senate, sio viongozi wa Mount Kenya. Kama ni kiongozi wa Mount Kenya azungumzie Mount Kenya, lakini kama kiongozi wa Senate azungumzie taifa zima. Kwa sababu Senate yaangalia kaunti zote 47 katika nchi ya Kenya. Haiangalii Mount Kenya peke yake, inaangalia kila pahali katika Kenya.
Linturi's amendment, which is a further amendment to the one brought by Nairobi Senator Johnson Sakaja, wants the counties to equally share 270 billion and the remaining 46.5 billion subjected to the formula developed by the Commission on Revenue Allocation. The role of coming up with a mechanism to share revenue among counties is given to the Commission on Revenue Allocation, CRA, which tabled its proposal to the Senate in early 2019. The role of approving the mechanism is then given to the Senate by Kenya's public finance-related laws. The current formula that is under review is supposed to be used for 5 years. Daniel Kariuki for Switch TV.
All right, we shift gears to Migori County. The Orange Democratic Movement has told off the embattled Migori Governor Okoth Obado to carry his own cross and avoid dragging the party into his own mess. ODM Migori branch officials told off Obado to desist from dragging the party leadership into his alleged misappropriation of more than 70 million shillings.
We fully support all the resolutions, and we also agree that that is the way forward as a democratic political party, ODM. ODM has got structures, and we must uphold whatever has been given as a direction.
Nataka niwaambie watu wa Migori, mahakama imetoa uamuzi wake kwamba governor hata kuwa na ruhusa ya kukanyaga katika hiyo ofisi. Ofisi sio ya governor, ofisi ni ya county ya watu wa Migori. Watu wa Migori wana uamuzi gani? Kama kiongozi waliyomchagua kuendesha hiyo ofisi amekatazwa kisiingie katika hiyo ofisi, sisi kama chama cha ODM mnataka tuchukue msimamo gani? Tusikie, tunyamaze wananchi wetu wakiumia? Maana masuala ya maendeleo yako hapa, mpaka tujue maendeleo ya watu wa Migori itaendeshwa na mtu gani. Nataka kuambia kwamba, nataka kugusia kwamba sheria inasema wazi kwamba governor akitoka naibu wake anachukuliwa. Mjue kwamba Migori County naibu wa governor amekuwa katika uongozi kuanzia mwaka wa 2013. Na aliyemchagua na ni huyu governor ambaye yuko kazini. Kwa hivyo sioni lolote la kutisha kwamba hawezi akafanya kazi.
All right, we'll now look at the figures of COVID-19, where 4 more patients have succumbed to the COVID-19 in Kenya, raising the country's death toll to 581. The Ministry of Health has also announced that 178 more people have tested positive from a sample size of 3,474, bringing to 34,493 the number of confirmed positive cases in the country. From the cases, all are Kenyans except 5 who are foreigners. In terms of gender, 110 are males and 68 females. The youngest is a 3-year-old child, while the oldest is 77 years old. At the same time, 238 patients have recovered from the disease, 187 from home-based care program, and 51 have been discharged from various hospitals. Now, the recovery stands at 20,449. And my director is telling me that we need to take a quick commercial break. We'll be back with more. You can talk to me on 22 999. What do you make on what happened today in Parliament, where the CS held Mutahi Kagwe and PS Mochache were being grilled today for more than 4 hours? Talk to me on 22 999. We'll be back in a short while. Welcome back. In line with the provisions of its Finance Act of 2019, let me just take that. In line with the provision of its Finance Act of 2019, Kenya The economic powerhouse of East Africa is finalizing plans to enforce taxes on digital platforms like Google and Netflix and online transactions. According to the proposed change in the income tax law, digital companies that generate revenue in Kenya will pay a 1.5% tax on the value of transactions. Vicky Mugambi has the story.
In 2019, Kenya introduced measures to tax the digital economy that has not been taxed due to the nature of the businesses involved. The scope of taxable e-commerce, according to the Finance Act of 2019, ranges from international digital companies making profit in Kenya like Netflix and Google to local online marketplace and application developers. What stands out for Kenyans is the taxman will be eyeing downloadable digital content, including downloading of mobile applications, e-books and movies, subscription-based media including news and magazines and journals, software programs including downloadable of software drivers, websites and filters, supply of music, films and games, any other digital marketplace supply as may be determined by the Commissioner. As it stands, most content creators are not aware of the digital taxes about to be imposed on them, and for those that have the knowledge of the tax bill, oppose the move by the taxman, citing the government is already not doing enough for them.
How come we've not heard about this as digital people who are on the digital platform? That was my question.
Tunapay tax tuka kila mtu na nini, but industry yetu inakuanga sort of like neglected when it comes to any other bill that is to the betterment of our industry. So for me, of course, sita feel comfortable kama mali kuna pesa mnakimbia, lakini mali mnataka kunafa kunisaidia munisaidie.
There's no way they can go taxing those who are not earning as much as, I don't know, everyone else, barely struggling to make it. Because honestly, as content creators, we're not where we should be in terms of, not even quality. Quality, we are good, but in terms of how much we earn. Because as content creators, we're still trying to convince these analog people that the digital platform is the new way to market. So how can we be fighting two fights? You're already out there as a content creator trying to convince someone that this is your day-to-day job, this is what pays your rent, this is what feeds you, and then they're trying to cut a piece of that. That makes no sense.
Former ICT Minister Bitange Ndemo, in an article published in a local daily, said, and I quote, "This taxation measure is not easy to implement. It should be approached from a bilateral level using the African Union as a springboard. It needs to be thought through by looking at the benefits Kenya has gained as compared to the money Treasury is seeking out." Digital companies creating revenue in Kenya will have to pay 1.5% in taxes in order for the Kenyan government to meet the 2020-2021 budget goals. Vicky Mugambi reporting for Switch TV.
Thank you, Vicky. The playing of a violin has been considered as one of the most possible ways to calm a person's heart when it comes to good music. Its rhythm and flows reminds you of all the wounds hidden inside. Only the chosen few get a chance to play the instrument in the country due to cost, and we came across an impeccable violin player, as Fatma Ngwena is reporting.
When you hear the sound of this violin, your heart will be comforted and you'll be eager to listen even more. Michelle Oguya, who is a student at Strathmore University pursuing marketing and finance, has been aspiring to be a violinist since she was 7 years old, an ambition that made her develop this talent. She was fortunate enough to learn the experience that only a few in Kenya get from one of the missionaries she met.
I've been loving music ever since I was a young kid. Yeah. Music is something that I feel has also always been inside me to some extent, just the love of it, the way it makes you move, the way it makes you feel. It's always been there. And so what happened is that I saw a violin when I was around like 7 or 8, and that inspired me to start it because it was someone from my school. She was so good at it.
Despite the violin being a popular musical instrument owned by a few due to its expensive cost, Michelle's effort and passion is for sure an encouragement to those who are interested in mastering the art.
Well, I'd like to say that everything is possible. If you have the passion to do it, there are very many avenues in which you can learn. You can go to Conservatoire of Music, you can go to Art Music, apply through Ghetto Classics, which is actually a program that helps kids from other backgrounds to learn music. So if you want to start music, just know that you can, and if you feel like it's within you, just do everything you can together, because I know for a fact that someone who did not know that they could do this have played in front of the President of Kenya. We played in front of the President of Kenya before, and also to Obama. So this can really elevate your position.
The COVID-19 pandemic has paralyzed all sectors in Kenya. Music industry is no exemption. Michelle has not been able to train with other violinists to learn more about the art, as she used to do before the pandemic. Where there is a will, there is a way. Michelle's passion of playing the violin has pushed her to venture more into the music industry, as she is already working on her first debut song. Fatma Ngwena, Switch TV.
From the violin, now we go to sports, where Chemelil Sugar midfielder John Ocheng has crossed over to join the Kenya Premier League champions Gor Mahia FC on a 3-year contract deal. Ocheng is a hard-tackling utility player who has been tipped to be one of the best at Gor Mahia. Over the years, sports in Kenya has grown with a female sports person being part of the play. Gender has also been a major factor, considering more men dominate the sector compared to their counterparts. As Cedric Oronje reports, Diana Moraa is an example of a few sports personalities who have interest in the art.
Diana Moraa Orito. Probably not the first name one will think of when we mention the gym. This facility is known for hosting men. Bodybuilders and the few who choose to cut some weight come to her for change of body. Diana has defied all odds by becoming one of the best female fitness coaches in Kenya.
Personal training, it's a growing business in Kenya. It's not really embraced. When you tell someone you do personal training, some will think the price is very high. Some will think it's very low. So it depends on if someone is really aware of what personal training is, they would embrace it the moment you say you offer such services.
Having spent close to 4 years at Kenyatta University, Diana attained her degree in sports science, barring her to specialize fully in fitness training. Even though the art of fitness seems to be associated with men, Diana has pushed through to attain a certified fitness role.
And then my second option was sports science, but I just chose it all in the name of filling the form, knowing I'm so qualified for music. So when the results came out, I got a letter from Kenyatta University saying that I've been called to do sports science. So then is when I got the interest. What is this sports science? But then I didn't really know anything about it before.
Judging from her sentiments, determination, resilience and hard work have played a major role driving her to doing what she does despite encountering challenges in her line of duty.
I train both genders. When you have group trainings, you don't really say we specialize in women or in men. But definitely there is a challenge in training men because this is a male-dominated industry, of which I salute all ladies who are doing this. If there's a serious client who really needs your services, they will comply to the terms and conditions. But then, of course, you'd get a few people bringing pleasure into business.
Considering the abrupt interruption of normal duty due to the COVID-19 pandemic, Moraa insists that her only source of income has been seriously affected.
Most people, most of the personal training clients I had, we used to meet at the gym. So not everyone is very conversant to or easy with you going to their homes. So that's another challenge. So there's less clients, less traffic, and there's just everything is just going on the down. But at the moment, people have embraced and the new state of the world.
Now, many of you may tend